Hello and welcome to Curbal.com. This is Ruth Pozuelo, and today I am going to show you how to remove referral spam with Power BI. The way I'm going to do this is by using our growth dashboard. You can download these files later on, so don't worry about that. There will be a link in the comment box. You probably are familiar with this growth dashboard. What it does is it measures the sessions on your site and just measures how much you are growing per day, per week, per month, and per year. One of the things that I've been wondering is, okay, how much of this is actual spam? Because even if I'm using filters, you still get spam anyhow, and it is quite a lot of work to actually remove one by one and to understand how much is spam and how much is not. So I'm going to show you these guys, Referrerspamblocker. What they have done is have built an application that anybody can use. It's completely free, that add filters to your Google Analytics account and remove spam. So here's my Google Analytics account. Here are the filters. And what it does is it builds these kind of filters. If you go into one of them, you will see what it's actually doing there. And in their Twitter account, they normally tell you when it's time to do a new update, because they have added new links there. So I'm going to very quickly demonstrate how it works. You start. I've already authenticated because I use this a lot. So if I click authenticate now, you will recognize me. And then I say, okay, which accounts do you want to have filters on, and then watch the magic happens, as they say. So here you can submit the URLs that you've been hit to and they don't know about it. You can subscribe, you can get through Twitter the real updates, install segments, so you can remove that from Google Analytics, or you can donate if you have an extra back to it, because this is tons of work and they are actually doing it for free. But what we will be focusing on, besides from the actual check, this is already done, cool, and they tell you where the filters are. If we go back to Referrerspamblocker, what we're going to use is their blacklist. Right now they have 237 ghost referrers, and ideally you want to get this table directly from Power BI. You can do that by going through Get Data, Web, and then you just paste their URL. But unfortunately, it's not possible to capture the way they have built the site, so I have asked them if it's possible to expose the data so we can collect it. In the meantime, what we need to do is to copy this into an Excel file and use that. So, and let's save it somewhere. Referrer spam list. So once it becomes available in this table and we can pick it up directly, I will let you know here. But in the meantime, we will have to import an Excel file. So we go to Excel, we go to the place where we store it, here, and then we click on edit. So here we have it. Let's give it a better name, Referrer Spam. Now we're going to make it text, because one of the things we don't want is this 0, 1, 2, 4, the titles, right? So we need to remove them, and for that we're going to create a simple formula. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a column. We call it Referrer Spam Blocker, for example. And now we're going to write if text length equals 1, then blank, otherwise leave it as it is. So you see what it does. It takes 0, 1, 2, 4 and just leaves it blank. Now we want to remove the blanks and remove that column. We don't need it anymore. So let's give a table name to that. Referrer Spam Blocker. That's the source. So now we have a list of URLs that have been blocked or should be blocked. What we need to do is to go to our sessions table and we need to add some columns here. The first one we will add is, let's see where it is, traffic sources source. This is where the actual spam addresses are. And then we are going to add bounce rate, because that's when you know that something is, or the probability for that to be in spam is quite big. When the bounce rate is 100, we're going to use bounces. This is the same. And then we're going to use page tracking, and we're going to use the landing page. Here it is. Okay. Most of the referrer spam will have 100% bounce on your home page, which is normally this slash. So we're going to add just a little bit more columns to this. We will add a year, and we will add a year week column to be able to do some analysis. So we will go to add column. We call this year, and then it is date year. You add the date, and there we have year. Now we're okay, so now we're going to add a week. What we want to do is actually add a year week, so the title we can write it right away, but we will build this in steps. So it is date week of year, then we get date, and then we have the weeks. But you will see that instead of have 0, 1, it has a 1 because it's a number, and we want to have 0, 1, so it can actually be sorted right. So it will be, well, I'll show you. So what we want to do is convert this to text, because you cannot have 0, 1 in a number cell. So number to text, and now is text, and now we want to have the 0. So we will do that, and this is text had start, I think. I never remember that one. And then is 2 zeros, like that. Let's see what it does. Yep, we have that. And now we're going to concatenate it with year. Now, year is a number, and we need to have it as text. So we will do exactly the same. Number dot to year. Add year. And then concatenate. Oh yes, sure. Is number to text. And there we have our year week. Let's check. This should be a date. That can be like that. So now we have our date and our sessions and our spam URLs. One of the things we want to do is to disable load. We don't need to have that in our dashboards. What we're going to do is we're going to do a merge. So we want to merge these with that to understand how many spam URLs we have in our analytics data. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge the data. So we want to match the source on our sessions table together with the Referrerspamblocker URLs. And you can do a lot of different types of matching. And what we want to do is to have all the ones from the first that match the second. So if there are some in the second that are not in the first, we don't want to have them. Otherwise it will give us blank rows that are going to give us trouble later. We will do that just to actually see how much spam we've got, but what you probably want to do is to have only the rows on the first, so you will remove the spam altogether. But just for educational purpose, we will have all first matching from second. Okay. Then we will expand the column we want to see. Excellent. And now close and apply. So this is what happened. What we did is that if we have an URL here that is in our sessions table, we want to have a match. And when there's no match, it will be blank. So when we go back here, all these calculations, year to yesterday, same period last year, you can see them here, are based on total sessions. So we need to change total sessions. I don't need actually to show that. If we just click on here, now it's just adding all the sessions. But what we want to have now to remove the span is to have all the sessions where Referrerspamblocker is blank. Okay, so that will give us our true sessions. So we will write a calculate formula, and we will filter by is blank sessions where Referrerspamblocker where so one more. So what we're actually saying is every time the Referrerspamblocker is blank, then calculate the sum and give it to us. So just look at the numbers now. We have a 6% month-over-month growth in this site. When we apply that, it changed to 5%. It means that 1% of the growth was based on spam. I mean, you can actually take very wrong decisions based on that. So it's very important to remove the referrals. So now the next question is this blacklist complete? Let's check that out. Spam. So we go to our source. Let's do it a little bit bigger. So there we go. And I can already see that that list doesn't have everything. And there is a fundamental problem with There is a problem with Power BI that it doesn't allow to have regular expressions. That means, for example, it's very common in spam that you have this semalt.com 345, 346, and is to avoid easy filters. So they are generating like random numbers, and if you know regular expressions you can remove that, but it's not possible to apply regular expressions in Power BI. There is actually an idea for that, so just please vote for it. I will post a link down there if you think it's also important, but until that is possible, then we have to remove all this manually. And of course the guys at the Referrerspamblocker, they are actually using regular expressions, so they are only giving us the generic URLs here. So we have to do something about that. And here is where I came up with. First we will see which ones are actually spam, and for that we need to add bounces and landing pages. And then let's create a measure that actually help us to see which one of these are spam. For that we will go there, new measure, and we will write like this: calculate the sum of, or calculate total sessions. No, cannot use anymore because it contains the sum of sessions. So, and now filter. We will filter by is blank, as we did before. Sessions Referrerspamblocker. So when that is blank, we want to see them. And now we're going to filter by sessions where the bounce, this is not bounce rate, it's number of bounces. So bouncer is 1, and that is text, so we have to put it into brackets. And then we are going to have to close, and then I'm going to filter. How annoying that is, huh? Sessions, eventually we will be able to see sessions landing page equal to home page. I see. Filter sessions. And this is potential spam. So this is spam that, or URLs that could actually be spam. Let's move it to the sessions table and add it to a list. So what we're seeing now is sources where bounces is one, landing pages, home page, and how many of those, right? So we have quite a few, but I know not all of these are spam, so I have to be very careful. So as you know, you cannot copy from these windows, but now in the latest versions you can actually export data. So we're going to do that. There you go. Let's look at it. And now we are going to do some filtering, because I know direct is not spam. All this smalt stuff is spam. These guys are not. No. So, and that leaves us with a list of spammers that these guys Referrerspamblocker do not have in their list. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a custom table to this. So we go here and click on enter data. We go to our list, we copy, paste, undo headers, and we're going to call this exactly the same as we called the other one, because we're going to do an append, and for that the header has to be exactly the same. So it was referrer spam blocker on spam, and then we're going to load it. So let's look at it. Here we have, let's see, Referrerspamblocker. Yeah, perfect. So again, we don't need to load this either. Continue. But what we want to do is to join these two together. And you do that by doing an append. Remember, the headers have to be the same on both, otherwise it will do a merge, not an append. Own spam, okay. And then is down there somewhere our new data. There they are. So one last thing I'm going to do is to click on remove duplicates, because it could be that these guys have Referrerspamblocker add something that is already in my own list, and we don't want to have a duplicate on that. So close and apply. And there we go. We have a correct list now. Perfect. So if we go here, as we've removed more, it's still a 5%. Okay, that's cool. So we can actually use this list to monitor spam. If you are not always in Google Analytics, it might be that you miss those. So what you can do, now we have cleaned up our entire site. So the only thing we need to do is to monitor the last weeks or the coming weeks. So we can add the year into a page level filter, and we say we want to look only at 2016 to start with. And then on that table we're going to add I don't think I have a measure for that yet. So we don't have a measure for how much spam we actually have. We need to create that. So spam will be the sum of all the sessions minus our total sessions. If you remember, the total sessions does not include the spam anymore, so our growth dashboard measures the correct things. So we move that to our sessions table and we add it here. Let's do a bar chart. And here we can start monitoring. For example, here I miss. Now it's not there, but I got tons of spam. Those two, you cannot look at them like that. Okay, this is potential spam. If you want to see the actual spam, you have to create another table, which will be Referrerspamblocker. So here you have the offenders. So now here you can search for potential spam in the future. Here you can see which spam is coming in. You can report that to our friends in the Netherlands here, so they will update the table. And now you have your Google Analytics data free of spam. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. I will provide the links to the files and all other sources in the comment box. Please like the video if you like it, or subscribe to our channel. We have tons of new videos coming. Good night.